What was the point of playing a human?
I know, because Krillin.
The only point of playing a Namekian was because of the skills. If you notice, Piccolo literally has all the skills.
Yeah.
Like, all the skills.
He's the Batman of Dragon Ball Z. Just saying.
But it's saying your space stats doubled every time you lost. So, figuring that out. And then you had to throw in training in there, which increased your strength by much smaller means, but it was still increasing the number. So the next time you lost, you doubled again. And
You know, that's why the official Dragon Ball Z tabletop game didn't even do anything like that, because it just gets ridiculous.
you know, after a while, it just became a challenge to see who could get higher.
My patience lost in that game, so it's kind of, yeah. And it's like, you guys can go ahead. You can win.
It's looking like so far, internet will hold out. We should be good.
So, if I can figure out the spell casting or the supernatural aspect of my system, I'll probably run that next. Because, yeah, it's been years in the making, and I've finally gotten it to a playable point other than this one fucking part. And it is a major part. While I like low fantasy or low magic systems, magic is still a thing. And I want this system to be customizable to be able to handle high magic settings if people want to do it. But figuring out this one part of the game is kicking my ass.
Trying to remember how D6 Star Wars did the Force system again. Been a while since I played that.
Convoluted.
Not super convoluted. Remember correctly, there was only like 3.
You have 3.
things.
You have control, alter, and sense as your
Sense,
3 base attributes. And then you had below them the skills. And then it functioned just as if you would have 3 base attributes more than your average character.
If I recall correctly, and this is just looking at the D6 system itself, I didn't really delve too far into the Star Wars D6. You could also heighten your spell or abilities, so forth, so on, and you had to do various different calculations depending on what aspects of the power you're using. Now, I don't know if that carried over to Star Wars, but the D6 system itself that the Star Wars D6 came from.
The only heightening that you could do, or you had to do, or that you could do, was spending experience points to add in additional D6 or
Force points.
Force points,
which doubled your dice. I mean, I know there were certain powers that required multiple of those attributes. He added the dice pool together.
Yeah, but they were in, that was listed inside the force powers. So in other words, like a lightsaber combat was all 3. You had to enter lightsaber combat, which was a sense roll, and you had to beat a certain DC. And if you successfully entered it, then you got to add your control to your attack and your alter to your damage.
It's been a while since we played it, and we never really did a whole lot of Force stuff in my game.
You told us only one person could be a Jedi.
Yeah.
And then one person ended up leaving at the beginning of the game. I was so pissed, especially since it was rolled for.
I know.
So I set about making a character that would break Josh's game in 1,000 pieces. And I succeeded.
Yeah.
So my nerd self is geeking out over a new tabletop that came out. I don't know if we'll ever play it or I'll ever propose to play it because, well, it just. Do any of you know what SCP is?
SCP containment breach.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it. Some of it.
Yeah.
Some of it is really good. Some of it is really horrible, depending on which author and creator you're listening to with the stories and whatnot. Because it is a global storytelling of creating stories and whatnot. But they made a tabletop of it, and like I am a huge SCP. Like if you. I like some of my favorite are definitely the Cthulhu one, the Christian God, um, the Scarlet Emperor, the Unkillable Lizard. Um, they have some really the Leviathan. They have some really
There's
good
a pizza
ones.
box that refills itself, and whoever's holding it, it will like read their mind and put whatever toppings and sauces on it that person wants. There's a tea set that has 3 different teas that it can fill up to, and there's I think buffs that it'll give people depending on the tea that the person chooses or something like that.
Isn't there a jar of candy that if you take more than one, it hurts you?
Yes, it goes all over the place from the truly cosmic world-ending shit to the candy in a jar where if you eat more than one it hurts you, and the pizza box that reads your mind and gives you the perfect toppings for the pizza you want to eat. It's all over the place. I love it. It's neat. Again, there are some really horrible ones where I've tried to listen and I'm like, nope.
Like a doll mannequin thing that if you stare at it, it can't move, but as soon as you blink or turn away, it follows you and it will kill you.
Yep.
Yeah, but they created a tabletop of it, and I will pick it up just because I'm a fan of the SCP. I don't know if I'll ever pitch to play that though.
Isn't there an entity in that it can go through walls and shit, and then if it catches you, it puts you in a maze?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
seen some people playing it. I've never actually played it myself.
One of my favorite stories from the SCP was the description, because they were trying to find out what happens when you die, and this person, they managed to bring him back to life, but he describes dying and that there is no afterlife. What felt like eternity to him, he felt all in his moments of death, as his heart stops and whatnot, he felt all his fucking atoms and cells dying, and all this shit, and he's describing of how excruciating it was, and how it brought on insanity, and went for a circle back to sanity, and it was really, really cool.
That just sounds like he just went to purgatory.
Yeah.
If that's the case, there's really no, you'd have to, survey multiple on that then.
Yep. But it's really, really cool stories. Some of them, anyway. There are a lot of them. And then there's some really crap ones. That's some good shit, though. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever really pitch it, because that is a whole bag of what the fuck on a epic scale. I think my favorite one is probably dude interviewing God. Dude's in the containment center, and all of a sudden this older man appears before him and is just sitting, talking to him, and he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "The creator of everything." And it goes along the lines, and he's like, "If you're really God, what am I thinking?" And he creates a cheeseburger in his hand to give to him. and they're asking a bunch of questions, and um, he was asking, why did you create the unkillable lizard? He said that's not my creation, and he's like, can you kill it? And he refused to answer. It's fun.
There's another one that's like really, really fucked up. It's like it doesn't specify what's the sentient part, but there's like a man perpetually hung in a tree, and he's like permanently in the state of dying. And as you approach this man, the more like he twitches and is in throes of death, but once you like back up, he goes back to just being like in the pain of hanging. But as you continue backing up, there's like a sound of a hellhound. So you're stuck in the state of, if I continue backing up, there's something else that may appear. But the closer I get to the guy, the more far away the hellhound sounds.
That would suck.
Yeah, no, I spent like a full day reading different SCPs.
Yeah, no, that shit's pretty interesting. All right.
I want to know how they actually collect these SCPs.
Some they don't. Some want to be with them. Some they just contain where they're at. Yeah, it's really dependent on the SCP you're talking about. Like they can't, like Cthulhu. He wants to be there because he's tired of the madness that invokes around him. They can't contain God. Let's see, there's another one they can't contain. The Scarlet Emperor's one they can't contain.
A campaign like that just seems like we were just playing Warehouse 13.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of does. Funny enough, they actually got a tabletop of that.
So when are we going to start?
In 2 more minutes. If Rama doesn't show, we're starting.
Question is, does anyone remember where we left off?
At the temple
Or
cord.
Well, I know that's where the last were.
We
Where
split
did
the
it
party.
start? Yeah, we split it in 3. I know that much. Didn't we start in Sarenrae's temple?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Solon and Araxis went to Quartz Temple, where they met.
Well, they went exploring first a couple tiles, and then they ended up at Quartz, and then they met Rambo's character.
Yep.
So do we have the 3 blessings, greater blessings for the?
Yeah, I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Let me get my notes real quick. Which ones were they?
Cat, spider, and cat, spider, and let me see. I'm trying to find what the last one was. Do you guys remember?
Was it the wolf?
I don't remember which.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was the wolf.
Trying to double check. Because the ones you've interacted with are snake, deer, wolf, dragon, turtle, badger, bird, bear, spider, and cat.
I see worm as well.
Oh, and worm, my bad, yeah.
Because I have mine listed like this. We have a Rumbo.
We do? Where?
No. Fuck. I don't think it was the stag.
It wasn't. I
don't
think
think-
you're right. I think it was the wolf. I think it was cat, wolf, and spider.
Feet are wet.
Did for the animals?
Yeah, there's 3 revived that we're supposed to get greater blessings for.
I can check because I thought I wrote one down on my original character.
I mean, there's one way to verify is go watch the VOD on Charlie's channel real quick.
3 hours later.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's like an all quick method to that, but you're welcome.
Yeah, that's a valid statement. I mean, because do we even
I mean,
remember
if you
exactly
could
what
remember when
it
they
happened?
actually, yeah, it was when they were exploring.
We
I'm
found 'em.
pretty sure it was before they reached the one temple, but I can't remember exactly where.
I don't know if it was ever stated, one way or the other. What?
All I know is
just-
you said you were going to resurrect a couple of those. I don't remember. I mean, I know you were talking about where the bodies were originally before they became statues that you could resurrect. If I'm remembering correctly, anyways.
take it back. Zerpai doesn't have any of them listed. Because I thought Zerpai was there when we found them. But apparently not. Is that what you guys are trying to figure out right now?
Did you guys jump around when you explored, or did you just follow a straight path to Cord's Temple?
We jumped around a little bit.
Yep, they did. With Cord's Temple was the last one because that's where they met my new character. They went to... Was it a shrine to resurrect him?
F8 had a bunch of floating islands that allowed us to do rituals at 1/4 time, so we were able to do both resurrection rituals, and then G9 had something else on it. I'd have to look it up. Oh, it was a spell book that contained all arcane spells in it.
Yeah, and a +3 to spell attacks, if I remember correctly.
And spell save DCs.
Oh, NDCs.
Yep.
Well, then... Didn't realize it did that, too. I thought it was just... Well, I suppose if it does one, it usually does the other.
Sorry about that. Mom called, and you know how moms are.
Yep.
It's one of two. It's either the badger or the wolf. It's one of the two.
Well, since none of us can remember, just pick one.
Wolf.
We can't remember what animals were resurrected. Spider, cat, and we can't remember if it was the wolf or badger. Yes, because I give a greater blessing. That wasn't one of the ones you got the greater blessings for yet. That wasn't one of the ones you got the greater blessings for. Alright. So for Wolf, the status bonus to stealth increases to +4.
Is that an item, or is that just a, or is
This
that
is
a
a
circumstance, or
This,
Okay.
this is a status bonus. So you got 3 different types of, you got circumstance, item, and status. This is a status bonus. Your
Okay.
character doesn't have it because he wasn't part of it.
Well, I was just curious.
Pack tactics. Pack tactics. When an ally is engaged with the enemy and you make a successful attack or spell attack against it, they take an additional 2 dice worth of damage depending on the damage source. So if it's like a 2-handed great sword, it'd be 2 additional d10. If it's a spell that does, d8 damage, it would do 2 additional d8 damage.
And that's from the wolf.
Yes, and the third part of it, spells and abilities used to find you take a -4, and you leave no tracks. So that becomes a -4 instead of a -3.
Did what again?
Which part didn't you hear?
I heard the +4 to status bonus to stealth and the -4. I missed part of
He
the
missed the pack tactics.
That's the in between.
Yeah.
So long as you have an ally engaged with an enemy, your attacks or spell attacks deal an additional 2 dice of damage. And you gain a +2 status bonus to tracking, be it from scent or perception of smell or sight. That's when you are tracking.
Is it -3 or -4 to being able to
-4.
-4. Okay. I did some rephrasing, but this is the way I phrased it.
It's +4 tracking, but yes. All right. You ready for the cat?
I am.
All right, cat gives +4 status bonus to stealth. That does not stack with the wolf because it's the same type bonus. But it is increased to +4 stealth. Your sneak attack feature adds an additional dice, and its dice type is increased by 1 size. What? Yeah, we're trying to figure out which ones were resurrected, like actually brought back to life. And we all just decided the wolf. Because we know the spider and cat, we couldn't remember if it was the wolf or badger. Your speed is increased by 10.
I'll be right back while you guys do that really quick.
You are immune to the prone condition, and whenever you fall, you always land on your feet. You can still take fall damage. You always land on your feet. And the last part of that, critical attacks with piercing or slashing causes the target to take bleed damage 2d10 until they succeed. If it's the bleeding condition, 2d10. That works with arrows, swords, spells that deal piercing or slashing, so forth, so on. Anything you do that causes piercing or slashing damage.
Cause bleed, what?
2d10 bleed damage. And then if you can post that, Dan, when you're done with each, so Sam can just copy and paste.
Mine's kind of shorthand, especially for the cat, so.
All right. This is the upgraded versions.
I'm assuming different types of bonuses to your speed don't stack, or the same types of bonuses to your speed don't stack, correct?
They do because they're not actual type. Whenever you get a speed increase, that just increases.
Perfect.
I have the same reaction.
Acupuncturist did.
Yes. All right. The spider. Y'all ready for it?
Yep.
You have 360-degree sense.
Don't we already have that with tremor sense?
Yes, but that's on the ground.
Okay.
This is 360-degree sense. Tremor sense still is important, just in case. So, like, they can both be used in tandem, I should say.
Got it.
I'm guessing the 360-degree sense is sight-based.
Sight-based. I put it as just a 360-degree sense because it's a little bit more than just sight. It's also like picking up subtle things such as the shifting of wind and things like that.
So it's almost as much feel as sight.
Yeah. Your attackers take 2d10 poison damage when they attack you. You know, your wounds gush open and just make their life a little hell.
Sorry, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Arachnids.
If you're hit, right?
Yeah, if you're hit. And critical attacks deal an additional 2d10 poison damage. So, like, when you critically succeed, it deals an additional 2d10 poison damage. Or venom, however you want to look at it.
So when you attack with a poison attack, it does an additional 2d10.
No, any of your attacks. You infuse your life essence into it to cause poison.
Okay, so attacks deal an additional
Critical
2d10.
attacks.
Critical attacks.
And all arachnids and their different subspecies that fall into the same family are considered friendly to you.
Got it.
And the last part, you are immune to all non-magical restraints. Magical or supernatural abilities do not count. So, like an example, if for some reason you manage to piss off the friendly spider, because all arachnids are considered friendly to you, and they try to use their super spider fucking, restrain you, you are immune to it. However, like a spell of binding, you are not immune to it. Just copy and paste those, Sam. The +2 to tracking on the wolf should be +4. Yes. All right. So,
Was it Bear, did we get to pick which attributes we added those, or was it always +2 to wisdom, +2 to con?
for what? The bear?
The Bear.
+2 to wisdom, +2 to con.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I did not change that. That's unfortunate.
Fair.
It's sad how much my health went up when that happened. At the same time, it's sad how low my health still is.
What's your health or your con at now?
8.
Oof.
I thought you started out at 8, or was it 6?
I started out at 6.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's.
It does make it sad, unfortunately.
I went all fucking out with it when it came to a flaw for my character.
Because I feel like I've got about double your health.
71 is what my health total is.
Doo-doo-doo. I didn't even. Yeah, a little over double.
All right, so now that is out of the way, let's go ahead and. Charlie, you recording now?
Oh yeah.
All right, somebody do the recap, then we will start with one of the groups that are split from the party.
I feel like Josh was reviewing recently. I don't know if At least he was talking about it earlier to me.
I didn't hear what you said. Sorry. Thought that at two different directions.
I thought Josh was going to try. At least he was talking to me earlier in the week about it, but I don't know if he still decided or not.
All I heard is Josh is doing it.
So, where we last left off, we come to realize there's a lot of shit to do, and a lot of us had very urgent and pressing things we had to do on different corners of the island. Gavin not wanting to leave Nair. Did I get it right?
Yep.
Yes, you did.
Well, miracles never cease. Not wanting to leave Nair alone while she was changing from her base form into her second form, Ice Nair. Decided to stay and guard her while that was going on. Meanwhile, Chucky needed to go back to the base city because I don't remember if we ever came up with a name for it.
Nope.
I was jokingly saying Viridian, but you know.
Oh, yeah.
Viridian,
Yeah,
where he returned to Viridian City, where he was interacting with both his brother, his cousin, and Eve. I don't know why I thought Zivit was your cousin, but I did. He also found out that things were happening back in his home rock. They were under assault by demons. Chucky seeking aid to help them in their time of turmoil, reached out to both his grandmother and eventually reached out to Drake and struck up a bargain to end the threat that his home faced. With that, he turned his sights back towards his companions who had gone out to investigate several sites of interest. Meanwhile, Solon and Araxis had proceeded to do a few sites of interest. One, recovering a spell book of old that describes all known spells of arcane might. And another floating island, or three floating islands, that have the ability to reduce the ritual cast time significantly. Seeing that they had such a perfect opportunity, they decided to spend half a day here and resurrect the final two greater primal animals on this on these floating islands, and turn them loose into the world. Derek, you said you wanted to do some RP with this, but we were moving on for time's sake.
What RP? Sorry. I was looking at a couple things, my notes and whatnot.
I don't know. You just said that you wanted to do some RP with this come today.
The animals or
The animals.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But then to finish up the recap, we moved from there to the Temple of Cord, where we found no signs of corruption, which is unusual for this island. Instead, we discovered a guardian, where we decided to pull back and engage that guardian in the morning, as opposed to charging at him quite this late at night. With that is the previous session. I don't care about build points because I got fucking all of them.
You got all the build points.
I can fast build like 5 other greater structures before I even have to worry about getting more build points.
Fair. And I thought the wolf was already resurrected. Now that I'm thinking of it, because did he go through the woods killing things, or was that his spirit?
It was a spirit.
Gotcha. Never mind then.
Yep, none of the creatures were resurrected except for the
for
cat, because the cat was his home territory was in the frozen wasteland, and I thought that would be a excellent opportunity for the cat to cause some mischief.
All right, so we will handle that real quick. So Araxis and you are upon the floating islands where this ritual has been cast to resurrect them. Before you, shimmering greenish emerald light flash through the sky, and you see the forms of a massive spider appear and the howl of a wolf that is echoed, and you swear it could probably be heard to all the islands within the storm. The wolf lowers its head to both of you and snarls a bit. Wow, brought me back as promised. And it begins circling the two of you. Your kind is not known to uphold their word. I am surprised. Pleasantly.
My line is older than you are, and my line always keeps their word.
The sky. You have me. You have me.
Soon we go to clear and cleanse Melora's temple from the filth that's...
As soon as you say that, you see the spider, its mandibles kind of lift up in excitement.
Any assistance you go to render would be greatly appreciated.
It lowers its head in acknowledgement. Then I will stalk its woods and clear the path for you. And it lets out again a deafening howl before running at incredible speeds and vanishing to floating.
I nod respectfully at the spider because the spider seems so much more polite.
You have my interests. You restore my mistress's home, our most sacred place on this world. I know much, I've seen all there is upon the home I was raised. Before the lands were shattered,
We feel that with Saren Ray's temple on this island already restored, which you may or may not be aware of, we go next to Cord's temple to purify and restore it. And soon after, we intend to clear out Melora's. I feel that the growing divine influence and power contained within this island should help combat what lies to the east.
its mandibles move up and down. request of you. You see all its eyes kind of fixate on you, Soul. To restore what Cord has stripped from my mistress.
I laugh. Oh, tell me how to do it, and I'm sold.
If I knew, I would do it myself.
Oh, my dad already
But-
intended to do this.
This, I would forever be grateful and a true ally to you and yours, and to your dying days.
I understand.
Its two front legs kind of just tap on the ground of the floating island. I will aid you further. The means of traveling between the islands the enemy knows. I will seal them except for passage from you and yours.
Woot woot.
And at that, it lowers itself lower its body down, as if doing a bow if a spider could.
Return it.
Before backing up and then scurrying down the side of the underbelly of the floating island and disappear.
Oh, that's just awesome. It all comes full circle.
All right.
What's Araxis have to say to all of this?
Not
Good
really
talk.
much of anything. Just
You just seen two very powerful godlings, if you will. Both doing their own significant things. The spider doing something very significant here. You don't have anything to say.
The spider also gave us a quest.
The spider, also gave you all a quest. Yes. No. Restore to its mistress what Cord has stripped from her.
Solon seemed to know what that was.
then I would assume that you would fill me in later and nod along.
You don't
and-
know his character very well, then.
I was about to say, have you met Solon?
Then I will ask about it later.
You have literally, this is where you are spending the night. You're not at the temple yet. We're backtracking to do
I was gonna wait until it was just us and ask later, not.
It is just you and him.
I thought the spider was still right there.
No, it left if you were paying attention.
Obviously, I wasn't paying very much attention. Then I will ask Solon what that means.
In ages past, Melora used to be known by another name that Cord usurped from her. She used to be not only the goddess of nature and nature magic, but she also used to be the goddess of storms. And Cord took that power from her and made it his own.
Mentally, there's a reason why.
I know there's a reason why. I just don't remember it.
You can give me a religion check if you want, and I can tell you if you get high enough.
Yeah, sure.
15 is what you needed. Cord and Melora were, I guess, in essence, they were together. They were a couple. Some texts they were married, some, whatnot. She cheated on him, or was, and this is where the text gets, it differs by which story is being told, that either she was tricked and believing it was Cord himself that she bed, but ultimately it was not Cord, and in his rage and fury stripped her of her powers over the storm and took it upon himself because of his rage and all that. Yeah, it was either she knowingly did it or she was duped in it. The trickster god is one, because the Cord, I can't remember the actual trickster's god name in 4th edition and 5th edition. They use in the Dawn War Pantheon the Traveler, aka the trickster god. Cord absolutely despises that deity, and one of the reasons why are thought of is because that, he's the one that tricked Melora.
Well, why Solon knows about this is back in the day, Cord pissed Drake off to a severe level. Like, he almost went to war level. And he said that he was going to one day take from Cord the power of the storm in revenge. So Drake is already targeting that particular ability. Technically, the way to grant or to take the power of the storm, isn't it an orb or whatever contained in Cord's divine domain?
I believe so. It's been a minute.
Drake just woke up, so he hasn't gotten around to stealing it yet.
But yeah, so yes, anything else you want to ask him, Araxes?
Does Solon share the information that his father is also seeking to do that, or is that something that Solon wouldn't know?
Oh no, Solon knows.
Would you share that with Araxes?
Yes. I said it out loud. When I said in game, I said in game.
Okay. So then, this Cord being is basically what, like a god to us?
He is one of the greater gods, yeah.
And how does Drake compare? Like, I know Drake is super, super powerful compared to us, but is he anywhere near being on that same level?
To fight him
He's
in
nowhere
direct
near
on
that level, but he has certain aspects of himself which surpass most divine entities. His stealth skill is higher than most divine entities can deal with.
Yep.
And his knowledge of the arcane is higher than any existing person, whether they be god or not. With the obvious exception of the primal deity.
Yeah. He has surpassed Ayun in knowledge. Not all knowledge, but magical knowledge.
In my specific wheelhouse, I have surpassed her, but not in the broader sense. So, could I take Cord in a fight? Oh, fuck no. But could I sneak past him? Yes.
If he gets caught somehow, he can also run away really good.
Yeah.
Two things he made sure his character could do last campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run away and hide.
Yeah. And no shit.
Really something that our players could do yet, but we could share this information with your father and seek his assistance.
Well, that's the question. Didn't Drake want the power for himself, or was he?
He just wanted to strike back against Cord. Stealing it for himself was kind of to be outside of game, to be honest. What I had thought about doing was stealing the power of that power and then making a customizing Luna to be a storm mage.
Nice.
With the influence of that power. It's just when the way things broke out in gameplay, I ended up being frozen or petrified way too soon for it to be a realistic for me to realistically get it. Because when Palor was gone, I couldn't deprive Cord of that much power because Cord was the only thing holding things together in terms of the war.
Also, I think at the end there, wasn't there an actual respect between you and Cord too? Because you all helped fundamentally change Cord from his berserker barbarian self to more of a
honorable warrior.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, but what that basically means to Drake is he's no longer going to shove it in Cord's face that he did it.
Fair.
I have a question, kind of in-game and out-of-game.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be at all possible if we were to succeed in removing this power from Cord and giving it back to Melora, is there a way that we could, like, take a fragment of that power to then give to Drake's friend who wanted to, or he wanted to turn into, like, a storm mage?
That's okay. Different plans, different things have evolved. She's already, because nothing's better than being, a rival to a adventuring party. You don't have to do shit yet. You can auto level.
But to answer your question, there are a couple people that would be able to do that technically.
Yeah, and the amount of power it would require to bump a mortal up into a prodigious level storm mage would be so minute compared to what the power is on its grand total. I don't think anybody would even notice it was missing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all a matter of the only thing we could do to help this along would be to give Drake an opportunity.
Or, there's also the, trying to negotiate with Cord as well.
There's that, too, if we wanted to be all upfront about it and not sneak.
There's pros and cons to both.
There are. I mean, it comes down to what how your character feels about it, and possibly the entire versus how the group feels.
Drake is the evil character. Solon is neutral in nature, so it's kind of a horse apiece to Solon. He turns to Arax and says, "I'll leave this one up to you. What you want to do here? Why don't you bring it up to the others, because this should be a group effort, and determine what we should do. If we should try to strike a bargain with Cord, or should we try to manipulate circumstances in such a way to give my father an opportunity to complete his threat?" I'm fine either way. I don't personally have any grudges against Cord. Dad just got kind of pissed with him and his champion back when they were adventuring.
Do we know anything about
I'll be
how
right back.
Melora had that power, or is that just something she just had?
It was
She's
a part of
goddess.
nature.
Yeah. She's
Storms
the
were
goddess.
considered part of nature. Cord is more associated with sailors and the like, so somehow weather got combined into a sea domain.
Oh, so this is kind of like a Davy Jones and Calypso type situation.
Yep,
It really kind of is, yeah.
best way to describe it.
Well, if Davy Jones was on the same level as Calypso was. Cord is... You have to remember, gods have multiple facets to them in terms of what they represent. Cord is the god of barbarians, might, and the like, but he also oversees the seas. He's a very Viking-esque god. And to that end, he took the power of storms, as that was the most compatible with what his nature is.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome
Do
back.
we have any way of contacting Melora?
We all do. We can either go to... She has multiple temples on this particular island that we're going to end up visiting before too long here, even before we get to the main temple. But what did you have in mind? I could theoretically try to contact her through her blessing. If it was an urgent question.
Not really urgent, but just kind of to help me make a decision on a possible method to do this. Who in our party, or even extended party, being Drake and those powerful guys, is the best at detecting if an entity is being untruthful?
That's I think we're all pretty as far as the outside party, the greater party, we're all pretty equal in that particular regard.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine would just cast a spell, and good luck
Xandric.
resisting that.
Xandric is really good.
Xandric is the penultimate bard, so his ability to read people is extremely high.
Oh, and to be able to lie. That is hilarious.
And Solon is a deal maker, so his insight is exceptionally high, trying to identify what people want. And then you have the paladin of the group.
It does
Gideon.
have Zone of Truth, so it's
And
Zone
So
of Truth
his
on
entire
crap.
thing is peering past into people's sins
My
and
character,
telling them to repent. So
and my character literally had access to all magic and became a god. So
yeah, so it's
Yeah.
in all honesty, any one of the graders could easily identify most, and I say most, lies, as long as they were able to actually get a hint that someone was lying. As far as us, all relative.
because detecting lies is still not. We don't have insight anymore. So what would it be?
I have
Perception.
a ritual. It depends on who you have in mind too, because I have a ritual I can do that makes it so people are compelled to tell the truth, otherwise suffer horrific pain.
But do note, if you're thinking about, even if you use the graders, if you're thinking about using them on Melora, she is a greater deity.
Yeah, this wouldn't work on Melora.
Yeah.
Fair. Because my thought process is my character would want to get her side of the story and find out if she was tricked or if she did it knowingly. Because the whole devil's advocate, if she deserved to have that power stripped away, does she necessarily need it back? Does she deserve it back?
Fair enough.
I don't know. Maybe wait to bring it up to the rest of the group and get their input on it. But I would have to sleep on it.
I have to look at the list of spaces. But before we get to Melora's main temple and clear that out, there is a sub temple of Melora we stop at.
A grove, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be stopping at one of her groves. So there'll be a chance to commune with her there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think on it and try to get more information before I make a decision.
All right. So to help expedite things, that was the RP there. Chucky, we will go to you, good sir. What was the last thing you were doing? I know you went to Borgod's village to Sen. You spoke to Drake. He helped your people out.
Well, I was actually, the last thing I did was in the vault, and then let's see. I showed. I didn't do that on stream though. I did it as a glossary thing where I showed, because I had all the goblins with me from Holorock, and I showed them what Holorock actually is underneath, the savannah. And then I think, what was it? I used the star map to pinpoint the location of where the temple was that they eventually went to. And then
What the fuck are you? Oh, the Quartz Temple?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I believe I could, Zivit
Yeah,
teleport
you were going to
it.
go on your way to them. That's correct, yeah.
Which then I went back to the Viridian, or whatever we're calling it apparently now.
It's Viridian City.
It's now going to be the meme.
Yep.
And then the last thing I remember saying before me and Zivit teleported out was for my brother to make Eve a better weapon.
Yeah, that's right.
Just like better equipment. Just yes. And then I teleported to Cord with Zivit. That was basically it.
Okay. So you're going to be with them. All right. We'll go to you then, Charlie.
Okay.
We're at the temple. Takes 3 days for everything to transpire before the ritual, or her, won't say ritual, but transformation is complete. You handled some of your stuff inside with me as far as your roles and whatnot you needed to get caught up on. Was there anything that you wanted to do over those 3 days?
It would be during those 3 days or after those 3 days that I find out my information on Chiron.
It would probably be during those 3 days.
All right. I asked the high priestess there if she has a way of giving me is there any way for me to have a more personable conversation with Serenray? There's a couple questions I need to ask that a yes or no answer is not going to cut it.
Within the communal chamber, if you can reach to her, you can speak. It should be more feasible now that the storm has weakened considerably.
All right. I will give it a shot.
All right. She takes you into the communal chamber. Each corner has a brazier with flames flickering. One is just vibrant white flame Other is this greenish, the other is blue, and the other one is red. As you center yourself in the center of the chamber, go ahead and give me a religion check. Does that stand?
Fuck it. I will try the token reroll here.
$25 is what you needed.
Hey, I'm good on that.
It takes you a few minutes, and as you reach out with your psyche, Sarenrae responds. There is a sense of sadness as her gaze falls upon you. You wish to commune with me, Gavin Namora.
That I do, as things have come to light to me given my new stance. I want to know what you can tell me of the imprisonment of Chiron in the Black City. Why was he imprisoned in the tower? Why is he still imprisoned in the tower?
All I know, for Abaddon is not my realm, and even we deities struggle to peer within it, or do we do so lightly? Even his kind fears him. For what reason I could not tell you. Many have tried to come and take his mantle as the other horsemen have risen and fallen. For new to take the mantle, only he has worn the mantle of death.
So is it just speculation that the Daemons are the one that imprisoned him, or is that well known?
That I do not have a answer for you. Speculation, it is his kind that imprisoned. It may have well even been his progenitor that imprisoned him. I do not know the answer.
Do you know if, one, it would be better for me to try and commune with Ioun and her great library? Or would it be better to try and find this answer through the Raven Queen?
Ioun's knowledge may be helpful, but her purviews are knowledge, not what is hidden. That would fall more to Vecna. The Raven Queen and all deities of death, share some link to him in one facet or another.
So when you think it comes to the secrets of Chiron's imprisonment, you think as far as those that search knowledge, that Vecna would be the one to ask.
For such forbidden and hidden knowledge, yes.
All right. I do once again apologize that simple yes or no answers would not have sufficed for these run of questions.
You find yourself on a path that none of us foresaw. There is no need to apologize.
I promise I'll try and take the next steps carefully, but as with all things I do, that's no promise I can keep.
There's a sensation of acknowledgement to that statement. Be forewarned, we are all watching you closely. And at that, her presence leaves the chamber.
Now I'm stuck. I'm like, God damn it, I have to wait. As after I gained the stuff I did with Nair, which had been after no, would you say the unlocking side stuff I did with Nair would have been before?
It would have been before, yes.
Yeah, I have no way to try and communicate at the moment. Nothing that I do other than that. So I have no way to try and communicate with Solon or anything like that at the moment.
You could try thinking really hard. It almost worked for me before.
Fair. Alright, is that it for you?
Yeah, I can't think of anything else that I would do.
Alright. So back to Solon Araxis. What is your Amuran?
Yep.
As you all awaken to the next day, a portal apparates and out steps Zivit and Chucky.
Who's this guy?
I was about to ask the same. Who's the short one?
We weren't sure if you were coming back. We decided to replace you.
Ouch. Words hurt.
How is that physically possible to be carrying a sword about the size of them?
Oh, does my axe disturb you? Like, oh, the axe. Simon pops out.
Turns
Magical
into
worm.
Yep.
Is it contagious? Because I feel like it came out of something, so it is.
It's only contagious to ones shorter than me.
Well, then stay away from me.
But seriously, who's your new friend?
My name is Amaran.
Chucky. Pleasure. This is Zivit.
How does it feel not to be the shortest one anymore? Simon says.
Considering Zivit's shorter than me by a considerable amount?
He doesn't count. I barely remember who he is.
That doesn't count. You didn't say Simon Says.
So Solon is squinting with one eye and holding, fingers away across from each other, an approximate size of Simon, and then looking to Chucky, and looking back at the size between his fingers, and looking to Chucky. Really?
I do agree. I feel like they're. Granted, I feel like
Simon says short ones shouldn't talk.
Well, I've already.
I can change into many different forms.
Yes, but are they your actual form?
Up until recently, they were.
Formies naturally end is my axe, so yeah.
So what brings?
So these are our companions. We've been traveling with them a while. I introduce Amaran to Chucky. Chucky, we stumbled upon him when we made our way to this temple. There's a challenge down below to restore this temple. And I want to move on.
And the challenge is what exactly?
It's cord. What else? It's a fight.
No. That could be fun.
Then
Me and you have very different definitions of the word fun. It's a lightning golem.
Can't say I've ever met or seen a lightning golem before. But it's this island. It's going to eventually show me something that I haven't seen before.
The only question is this an individual challenge? Or is it a group challenge? Because Cord is kind of known for individual strength.
I'm guessing only one way to find out.
I mean, did you guys approach the golem, or did it?
I didn't know there was one down there. Oh wait, yeah, we did look at it. Never mind.
Or did you just peek at it?
We just peeked at it. We decided to tackle it when, we had a chance to rest.
That's fair.
Especially since it sounded like from what he said there was going to be more help later when you got here. Somebody was getting here, and I'm guessing it was you.
I don't suppose Gavin's joining us.
Oh.
Is this Gavin short too? I feel like right now it's kind of a mix with you guys. You got.
Do you usually classify people by their size?
I feel like they're maybe a little less intimidating.
Yeah, but see, you should never underestimate short people. They're closer to hell.
That was good.
Didn't see that one coming. I could nod my hat to you.
No wonder women are evil. They're always shorter.
Wow. All right. So, what do y'all do?
Before. So if we're
Traffic
going,
was like, well played.
if we're going into combat, Derek, I should let you know that my staff has the standard charges for the day. Plus, I'll use a not a fifth, but a second and third spell slot. So it has an extra 5 charges, so 12 charges on it.
Okay. So, what do you all do?
I suppose we should get a closer look at this thing, or do we want to see if Gavin's coming?
I say Gavin's down for another day yet. He has to spend 3 days at the temple. It's only been 2.
Did we actually know that?
I thought someone said before we left that it's going to take 3 days for this transformation to finish.
Yeah. During my first commune and everything.
So, yeah, we still gotta wait. We still got a day left, and there is stuff to do.
Yeah.
So I'll take them down so they can see what to which we reference.
You descend the stairs, and there's a large circular chamber where there are remains of hundreds who have fallen before this guardian. Some are basically petrified, frozen in time, scorched by the lightning that this entity possesses, while others just look as if, parts of their bodies were severed off, skulls crushed. Numerous deaths. The golem is of this obsidian type armor, and its body is made of electricity.
And it's just standing there doing nothing?
It's just standing there.
So do we think it's an individual challenge or a...
I almost want to say I think it might depend on let me turn my sight on and look around the room. I'm trying to avoid looking at the group because the last time when I met Sol and them, and I want to look at, or kind of look at the borders of the room, more like the door frame and stuff. Is there anything that would look like it might trigger when you walk in?
You're
Like
using detect magic?
Detect magic, read aura. Yeah, it's all in the same because of my archetype.
Every 10 feet in the chamber going along the wall, there is a ping of magic. It is evocation. What does the aura reading allow you to sense? Sorry, I don't remember that spell off the top of my head.
Sorry, let me get a quick question, or find it real quick. Read aura lets you detect magical objects, determine the school of magic.
Every 10 feet along the wall, there seems to be massive conductors of evocation.
Okay, but no sign of like once you enter. It doesn't seem like there's a magical trigger once you walk in.
No.
Well, there's evocation conductors along the walls, but I don't see anything that would indicate that it triggers when you walk in, but doesn't mean that there won't be. So my thought is if we try to make it a group by everybody walk in all at the same time. What do you guys think?
Is there a way to tell with the bones whether or not people tried this as a group or if it was just...
You can give me a...
Or is it just a bunch of piles of bones all scattered everywhere?
You can give me a perception check. It can take roughly...
Yeah.
Does that stand?
I suppose it's a new day, but I think...
Your token might help you.
Get a natural one. Yeah, sure. I'll go with that.
13.
Oh, it is betting.
So after about 5 minutes of studying your surroundings, you notice some of the remains are that of groups while others are individual. Like you piece it together. It takes you about 5 minutes to piece together the fighting that has transpired here. Some definitely went in as a group. Some went solo.
Oh, it looks like by the bones, some went in solo, some went in groups. It doesn't really tell us if, tells us we can go in a group, but it doesn't tell us whether there's any real benefit for going in solo or as a group.
I am listening. I'm just picking out what I want to summon when the time comes, so that way Derek can drop the
Yep. And I'll give you control, and there are just way too many creatures for me to constantly go through and update. So when you summon a new creature, I'll drop, give you control, just minus its level from the things that add its level. I need to use the restroom while y'all figure out what the fuck y'all want to do. There's multiple of you there. You got 4 players.
I
have to use the restroom, though. Be right back.
I guess, do anybody have a way of healing? Because I guess that's going to be...
The benefit to this particular challenge is we can prep all we want before we walk through this door. And engage it.
I'm guessing there's a button there somewhere.
No, but this is literally a dream scenario for every mage that ever existed.
I have... my question still stands: is do we have anybody that can heal at all?
I have some minor healing abilities that I get from an item.
Yeah, I got some minor healing abilities, not from an item.
I'm mostly a summoner, and since I could summon all the creatures I pretty much want before we engage in combat, I could give us some serious frontline help right off the bat.
I have a few things I could do.
I could grant us a significant haste boon before we walk into combat, and negative and debuff our enemy with the same spell.
I've got mostly damage abilities. I got a few that might be useful. I mean, if we want... How, depending on how useful the creatures are that you can summon, we can essentially use them as... Not to belittle their ability, but if they're not strong enough cannon fodder to possibly weaken it, because I can create a wall that'll separate.
Who's
from
Darius with?
I thought he was like somewhere recrafting that one amulet that he had to use.
Oh yes, he's in the city. That's right, Verdian. All right, actually, I think he's at the temple because he said he needed time to craft it. Mm-hmm. Which one was he crafting again? Sorry.
That one tether thing they did again in the Arcan fight.
Oh, tether draws health.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my character sheet's being slow at loading.
He has a couple magical trinkets and doodads he can craft. I couldn't remember which one it was.
Also, Derek, might as well just give me control now. Young Blue Dragon.
You're a young Blue Dragon.
Don't you forget it.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm mostly evocation. So really won't have much to help benefit in prep wise.
So do you want me to? I look at the group. Do you want me to kick off this show?
When you said anyone have any heals, Zivit would have chimed up. He does have some heals too.
Okay. Well, I guess do you want to start your summons, and then once we're all you're done, I'll head in.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I had a question.
Yes.
Yes.
I have my
You should have access to the young blue dragon.
Sweet.
earth protection. Does that apply to anything that Dan would summon?
If you use it after they're summoned, yes.
Okay. Then it's immediately after he summons all this stuff, I'm going to cast earth protection on everybody.
Okay, I need to do math in my head. Give me 1 second. 1, 2.
Does anyone actually know the relative strength of the enemy we face here?
No idea.
Gollum?
Nope.
Is there any way that we can use detect magic on elemental creatures or anything to get an idea of their strength?
I can stare at it and read it. If it emits some magic, I can tell you what kind it is, but that's about it. But if it's crackling lightning, I'm guessing evocation.
You can give me somebody or whoever wants to can give a religion check to gather information while y'all are planning this.
I'm going to use some incense.
Also, if I look at it with True Sight, is there anything I can see about it?
Actually, yes. So, you see that it looks like it is a golem, but something more as well. So, it has a celestial essence about it as well.
Do you think, Derek, we could move to a blank or the battle map if you have one, if not a blank screen, so I can?
Oh, damn it! It
Jesus,
moved y'all.
No.
My bad.
Okay. Turn 1 summon blue dragon.
Also, you said it had like a celestial aura to it? Celestial how?
1 second. No, that's not how you do that.
Oh, I just thought.
Okay.
There's a bunch of bodies here. Can I consult the spirits and figure out how tough this thing is?
Theoretically, yes. Damn it. Work with me.
In 1, summon 2.
Got ahead of that.
Okay. You could go ahead and roll for initiative, but I'll initiate because I need to do something simultaneously when I first attack or act. Because the thing I do next to summon one more creature out in the field will end up targeting the golem as well, or the construct as well.
How big is this room, by the way? Because
I just made that red circle right there.
I completely forgot I had the spell.
Y'all are at the southern portion before y'all enter.
I don't know how this is working, but anytime anybody moves a map, it scrolls, I think.
Yeah, I moved it. I moved
Okay.
your stuff. Or it's moving to your screen?
Yeah, no, I'll take my earphones.
You got something on your keyboard? Yeah.
So I start a countdown before I
I-
cast and target something.
Who's this blue square right here?
Me. Sorry, I don't have a token. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The original program we used to build isn't quite available. You have to download and run on your own computer, but every time I try to open up the files that are attached to it in the program, it doesn't load. It just says loading. So
Well, before you go, Josh wanted to try to commune with the spirits, right?
Okay, he could do that while I was summoning, because this is 2 turns.
All right,
sure.
consult the spirits.
I figured it out. It was me. My bad.
I need to clear the initiative and put things in, so give me a second before we put initiative. All right. That's a big wall of text. Summarize it for me, Josh.
I was reading it too. I haven't used this much. Basically, I guess roll something here. I think. Spend 10 minutes attempting to check to recall knowledge with the chosen skill. The DC is determined by the GM, usually very high. DC for the level, the highest level creature you might encounter in the area. If you're legendary in the chosen skill, you can choose this feat once per hour. Use it instead of only once. So it'd be so recall knowledge.
This would be religion.
Just use all my incense today. $23.
Does that stand?
That is technically I rolled 11 there. I could technically get slightly better. Yeah, I'll use my hero. Ends up out for today. And worse.
Oh, this session is going to be weird. Usually your token's worse. This time it was better, and your hero point was worse. That's an ill omen.
Is it? Is it? I'm not sure about that.
You can ask one question.
And it's usually a single word answer. So I suppose they better ask the question so that would make it easier to answer in a single word. Is
You haven't leveled your character at all, have you?
what are you talking to?
Sam?
So is the golem that we face in front of us stronger or weaker than myself?
Mythic is all that says.
So it's mythic.
And I would have said out loud that I'm seeing like a celestial aura to it, which you were going to elaborate on.
It says if a celestial entity is infused with his golem.
I would share that. That is important information for everyone to know.
Just so for reference, does my character know what the mythic actually means, or
And yeah, you got your legendary folks, and you got those that are above the legendary folks.
so?
So back
Yeah.
out slowly. Don't touch anything.
This thing's mythic level. This thing's high. I was originally thinking I could maybe take it by myself, but no, I don't think so. Just because I wanted to challenge myself, but no.
Okay, so is everybody ready to go?
Yeah.
You've been listening, right, Dan?
Is everybody ready to go?
You going first.
That's the plan. So I do the 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3. It needs to make a will save as I launch my Death's Haste.
Okay, what
divine.
effects is that?
It's the super haste that you came up with.
Oh, God, I thought you said Death's Gaze. Sorry.
Death's Haste is what I called it because we had.
Yep. No, that's fine. It needs to make a will save. Give me
Yes.
1 second so I can get everything up and going. Sorry. Yeah, here in a second I will have everybody roll initiative. This dude has a big sheet, so give me a second.
So what this does for all of you guys is I get to pick, 6 of you, and are up to 6 targets. Allies selected each gain an extra action that can be used for any purpose, including spells. And any enemy that I select must make a will save, and they lose a single action.
All right, let's get everybody's initiative in, pretty please.
Okay.
What's your spell DC, Dan?
It needs to beat a. to heal.
5 or
The entrance is right here.
okay.
22.
22, and it got a 21,
It loses action.
which helps you all tremendously. Sam
Okay.
roll
And
20.
Immediately upon doing that, my final my final young blue dragon.
All right, so that is how it's launched. Everybody's in the hallway. Even though your tokens are all to the side, Araxis, you're up first. Actually, they get to take actions when you summon them, don't they?
Yeah, the three with the countdown timers on have already been summoned, so I just assuming like on my turn I say go and they fly in.
Gotcha.
This one gets to act. It is going to make a draconic frenzy, which is 2 claw, 1 horn, and there is no lightning involved in this.
Okay.
Uh, 24 to hit.
Gets a flanking bonus. The 26 misses.
36 to hit.
That hits.
21 damage, slashing.
21 damage slashing. All right.
And 27 to hit, or 29 to hit.
That hits.
13 piercing.
Your 13 piercing does not seem to hurt it.
It's got DR.
All right, Araxis, it's your turn. As your dragons swoop in, you cast your Death's Haste, and when you cast your Death's Haste, you see this golem. Its head rises, and it has this ethereal electrical eyes. Your dragons swarm around it, and your fourth one that you just summoned goes into attack, and it is now well aware of what is transpiring. And there is an eagerness and a thrill that permeates this chamber coming from this entity. Eager, thrill, it's excited. The face you just gave me.
Okay, so everybody, as soon as Dan summoned those things, I did Earth Protection, which I will repost if people.
10 damn DR.
Yeah. Where the heck is my Earth Protect? And what are we in? Are we in a temple or are we in a cave?
It is technically the temple, though this is the sub level of it that y'all descended because the upper levels have been left in ruin.
How high is the ceiling?
About 30 feet.
How tall is this thing?
Around 12 to 15 feet.
How tall is Jeff, being such a large creature?
He is a huge creature, so he's roughly about 20 feet tall. Yeah.
Okay, which of us did you cast that thing on, Dan?
I think there was
You,
enough.
Jeff, everybody got buff. No, one of you, I have to leave one of you out in order to hit him. So I probably left Jeff out. So you have an extra one. Chucky. No, Zivit would be the one. Screw it. Try to think who I left out because I have to leave one of the party out.
Jaff would promote you to leave him out because he is a sentient creature and Zivit has more versatility than he does.
So Zivit, yeah. Jeff is the one that got left out. So you now have 4 actions around.
Oh, you're talking about haste?
Yeah. But this haste isn't limited into what you can use the action for.
Because technically Zivit has haste too. You could cast it.
Is there different sources so they stack?
Yeah, haste.
It's not his turn. Oh, would he done that beforehand? It lasts for 1 minute, like right before battle.
Yeah, right before battle.
All right, so you got 5 actions, Araxes.
I need to ready my shield. I need to run in. That'll give me 3 actions. And I'm probably going to want to use Act Together, which is a 1 to 3 action, depending on what I want to do.
Yep.
Which I'm probably going to want to swing my sword and then have Jaff attack twice.
Okay.
And that'll count as my 5.
Okay.
I think since I can travel farther than Jaff, I'm going to have him there and then me there.
Okay.
There's pretty much no point where we don't get a flanking bonus at this point. At least as long as my dragons are still alive. However long that may be.
Sky Sword, which is 24, I think, misses.
26.
26 does miss.
Jack. I don't see in the information for this that I have to use an action for Frightful Presence. I think it's just an automatic thing, right?
No, it's an action.
It's an action. Oh, because I have to activate it, right? I think I want to try doing that to see if it has any effect on this.
So that leaves you with one more action you can try to attack with if you want, because Frightful Presence is only one action.
Yeah. I think I want to try doing that to try to help us in any way possible.
Alright, you see Jaffamil put on his greatest display of intimidating prowess, and it has no effect.
I don't even get a will save
No,
roll.
he's immune to fear effects.
Gotcha.
That's important to know, in case anybody has fear spells.
So I have one action left.
Actually, this is kind of useful information because realistically speaking, if that did work, all 4 of my dragons could just follow Jav's lead and just his Frightful Presence in a circle.
And it would never get a turn.
The true terrifying aspect. Hey, listen! Hey, listen! No! Alright. Yeah, that is a critical failure. As you go to extend to strike him, or Jaffamil goes down to bite him, he grabs his snout with his hand and with his sword arm goes to impale him.
Just remember one thing, that is a 17, not a 15. I don't know if that matters or not, but...
His AC is 17.
You mean 27?
27, yes.
In which case it wouldn't be a crit failure.
He's failed by
Or
10.
would-
Yeah. You fail by 10 or more, it is
Yeah,
a
you're right.
failure.
You're right, you're right.
Uh, 40 to hit.
Well, fail by 10 or more, that would mean 16 was what you'd need to crit fail. Because he would have succeeded on a 27.
Because if you meet it, you hit it. And I guess
27 is a success, so therefore
What-
16 is what he would need.
how is everybody getting a +2? Just out of curiosity, is that part of the haste?
Plank.
Fancy haste. Oh, okay. Never mind that.
No, because 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, that's 10 away.
27 hits, though.
His
27.
AC is 27, right?
Yeah, so you're
So
right.
6
That is not a critical failure.
He'd barely hit.
Or yeah, she doesn't hit. It's not a critical, or Jaffamil's
Yeah,
not
sorry.
a. But yeah, that would have been a plus 40 to hit, or would have been a 40 to hit his AC. All right, its turn. It actually helps you very much that he is -1 action.
I'm guessing there's some 3 action things he can do that would fuck our day up.
Yes, but he is going to raise his hand, clench his fist. I need everybody to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Just within the circle, or
It is a 120-foot range. So yeah, everybody.
even if there's not line of effect?
Yes. Well, y'all are in this hallway. I got you all off to the side right there because the hallway, there's not enough room on this blank map to put the hallway. But those
Right.
doors right there, and you'd be in the hallway, so it'd be an area of effect.
Well, because it's going through the wall, that's why I'm...
Well, right there,
Oh,
is
okay.
right there is a door.
Well,
that's
here's the
right.
door, right?
Yeah. And that is a hallway.
You mean
Y'all
a
descend-
you mean a fortitude saving? Oh no.
Fortitude saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah, if I said Constitution, that was my bad. Damn!
Even I did well. Oh, no, I didn't. I was looking at the wrong one. No, I didn't.
Okay. Let me double check his ability here real quick. Sorry, this is a mythic monster. This is the first time I'm really running one. I just scaled the damage and everything on that